It's time for the Movin' the Chains podcast. Your home for high school football coverage in the Palmetto State. Every team, every game, every week. And now your host, Kevin Thomas and Jarrell Hendricks.
Welcome into Movin' the Chains, brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. I'm Kevin Thomas alongside Jarrell Hendricks. We've got a great guest today, a very special guest, the new head coach of the Colleton County Cougars, Adam Kinloch. Coach, how you doing today?
I'm good. Good afternoon, fellas. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing well. Appreciate your time. We really do. If this is you guys' first time tuning in, check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, etc. at Movin' Chains. Our website, movinchains.com. That's movinchains.com. Our podcast on Apple, Spotify, Google, and more. Coach Kinloch was hired in January. He was the assistant head coach and OC at Well Branch for the past 3 seasons. Prior to that, he spent 2 seasons as the running backs coach at May River and 5 seasons as an assistant at Well Branch. Coach, let's just start there. How's it been, going from that assistant head job to being the head man now over at Colleton County?
Well, there's a lot of things they don't tell you about. A lot of phone calls, a lot of interviews, a lot of meetings. Why, it's a blessing, but it is a lot of behind the scenes work. That a lot of it, I was ready and prepared for, but a lot of it, I'm learning as we go.
That's awesome. Before we jump into the heavy stuff, how cool is it as a former player, an 07 graduate at Colleton County? Like, how special is it for you to get the opportunity to serve as the head coach?
Man, it is. It's surreal, man. Like, I'm super excited. This is home for me. Like, people understand, like, all right, this is home. I'm a proud, graduate of Colleton County High School. I'm from Green Palm, South Carolina. Nobody heard about that big city down on the bottom of Colleton County. To be home and I'm coaching cousins, friends of family. I'm coaching, some of my classmates' kids right now. It's crazy. Growing up as the kid of a football coach and seeing the impact that could be made. I'm like, now I'm in this position and, it's go time now. I'm here.
I love it, Coach. I can kind of mention a couple of your stops here you've had, but maybe give for the fans a little bit of background about how you got into coaching and how you got to, the job you're at now.
After graduating from South Carolina State University, I knew I wanted to get into coaching, but I really didn't know what I wanted to do with, with my life outside of coaching. Sat down with my dad and he said, if you're going to coach, you need to get in the school system. And he was like, got to get your feet wet. So I was talking to a couple of my frat brothers and they said, hey, listen, we got a spot down here at Well Branch. And I'm like, Well Branch, Well Branch new school. I'm like, what's Well Branch? And I was like, all right, well, I can coach some ball and, be around ball. Went down and met Coach Carlos Cave, who's now the lead district 80 down in Beaufort County. And, the legendary Jerry Hatcher. And the best 5 years of my life, man. I learned so much. And they brought me in as the JV receivers coach. And you would have thought that I was coaching the receivers at New York Giants. We are under center, split back, team. We run the football. We throw the ball twice a game. And it's probably to the tight ends in the flats. And I'm doing all these drills. And, I'm super excited. And then it went from there.
That's awesome. So moving on to your staff, they didn't warn you about everything that's got to go on. But were you able to get your staff in place and were you able to pull from those guys? If you don't mind, just explaining who you got on staff and talk about what you're going to be doing in the next season.
Yeah. So first thing I asked when I took the job was, did I have the flexibility of bringing in guys that I wanted to have with me? and trying to change up some things. You know, I look at it like this: if you got a brand new car, but you took a raggedy engine, nothing's gonna change. You know, I wanted to come in fresh and bring some new things, some new ideas, some new blood in. And I was blessed to, you know, to surround myself with some good guys. Starting just from my defensive coordinator, the legendary Tommy Brown. How I got him to come to Colleton County, I'm still trying to figure that out right now. But I got Tommy Brown. You know, he's my defensive coordinator. And little that he know, ever since I've hired him since February, he's been a big mentor to me. And you know, and just in this thing of being a head coach, I lean on him heavy. I talk to him every day, most of the time in the mornings and in the evenings. Even though I'm going to see him, you know, at 7:30 in the morning, I'm going to see him, but we talk on the phone constantly. He's always giving advice and guidance, and it's been a blessing just because he understands his role as a DC. He's not trying to be a head coach, and I think a lot of young coaches, and that's in my position, wouldn't have hired a guy like that because they were thinking that, hey, listen, he would take over. It hasn't been anything like that, man. It's been a blessing. He's helping me. He wants to see me be successful, and I'm super blessed to have him in my corner. And my OC, Jacob Hector, young guy, but he's going to be a name. I'm telling you right now, y'all going to interview him in a few years. You know, he's an air raid guy, and I'm a let's run power and countertop guy, and now we meshing it all together. And I think it's going to be something special on the offensive side of the ball down in the Low Country coming from Colleton, just with our two minds, you know, coming together. Quarterbacks, Scott Wheeler, he's been on the staff since 91, 92, coached me in high school, was on the 97 state championship coaching staff. He was under the legendary Leroy Riley, so he's been around the block, man. I'm blessed to have him still on the staff, someone that coached me. Running backs, we just hired Aubrey Lemon, a sprinter that went to Stratford High School. He ran track at South Carolina State, and I say sprinter for a reason because he's still a fast guy, even though he's a little older now, and he's going to bring a different element to our team just in terms of, you know, getting our kids, you know, faster. Receivers, Mike Smalls, he was assistant basketball coach. He is assistant basketball coach at Colleton, and you know what? I thought about it, say, hey, well, he's with the basketball kids, and I need to get them to play football. And we talking some ball, and it's working. I think I made the right choice, man. He's come in and he has them playing football like they're playing basketball, and we're able to get kids who have not played football and they're seniors, and they out there now, you know, and they're going to be able to help us, you know, use their length and their jumping ability to help us on the field. And O-line, another Colleton, Walter High alum, Sean Lyons, a north-south guy, big-time player at the Citadel back in, you know, in the 90s. And having him, you know, someone who played on the next level, who made north-south, who was, you know, all Low Country. I mean, everybody knew who this guy was. And having him on the staff is huge for me right now. Going on our JV receivers, Jaquan Hamilton, another product of Colleton County High School, my classmate. I wanted to bring, you know, him in to help, you know, let's get our young guys going, but also because he played it, he understands, he's passionate about it. Our JV O-line and tight ends, Kylie Hart, another Colleton alum. And I know you're probably thinking a lot of Colleton alum, but someone who loves the program, who wants to be here, who is more than just the money. It's about, you know, getting this program back to where it used to be. Jumping over to special teams, Coach Brian Reed. His first year coaching football was a 97 state championship team. So, you know, I told him, I said, I need another first for him. You know, you trying to get his first ring. Come on, help me get my first ring too. So I'm having him run our special teams. And like I said, this is somebody who was under the legendary Leroy Riley, who played against the big dogs of the Jerry Browns and the John McKinsons. He's been there. He's done that. Having him to be able to pull my short and say, Kinloch, we need to look at this. We need to look at that. It's been a blessing. Going to the D-line, Kiwi Rose, another Walterboro High, Bulldog alum, who coached me in middle school. It's huge. He knows me since I've been a little boy. He's been around the block, like I said, somebody else that's coming from Leroy Riley. And to have him knowing that my dad coached him and then he coached me, and now we're coaching together. It's huge. He knows the community. He is a community guy. But I said, if someone don't know somebody, Kiwi gonna know it. He is gonna know it. Boy, listen, that fella, they knows everybody. Going out inside backers, Ellen Colors, young guy. He started last year on the staff, and he's someone that kept on the staff. He's young. He's energetic from New York, man. He got swag. He's bringing a different element. Just being so young, and he just grit, that New York grit. And I think our kids are really, believing that, and they're really, sticking to it and believing what we're saying because of him, and just bring a different swagger that we haven't seen. Outside backers, Jermaine Clayton, another Colleton County alum. I was able to take him from Lower Richland. Had to fight a little bit, man. Shout out to Coach Taylor for giving me a chance and giving me his blessing to be able to reach out to Jermaine. Because that's one thing I did. I wanted to reach out to coaches before I talked to their coaches. And Jermaine is coming back home, and he's coming back with experience, and he's super young. But it's hard to find assistants that are young, that's ready, to get at to learn and put them long hours in, but he's coming in with experience. And Coach Brown, our DC, he'll be coaching the DBs. And then we have Romeo Edwards, who is going to coach our JV DBs. This is his first year with our program. I brought him in with me. He is an energy guy. He is a people person. It's hard to find somebody who does not like Coach Edwards, because he's just a people person, and the kids rally around him. And he is, like I said, he's a super energy guy. I'm blessed to have him. And last but not least, Pastor Kevin Holmes. We got a pastor on the staff, a JVD line, and he brings it from a spiritual standpoint. He's giving it to us in a different way. And when he yells, everyone listens, because they know when he yells, it's a message behind it. Super energy guy, older guy, man. He's been around the block. He's been in the program probably over 10 years now coaching, and he is a guy that's going to help us, on the field as well, spiritually as well. And I think that we're bonding so much quicker than I thought we would because of him.
Coach, you talked a little about what you guys are going to do on offense, but what kind of schemes do you think you'll run on defense? And also, will you call plays for offense with your background there, or will you take more of a kind of a CEO role there?
Offensively, we're going to be if I had to call it, smash raid. So
okay,
we're going to see some air raid concepts, but we gonna run the football, and that's one we're going to get back to the old days that I grew up in, in Walterboro High and Colleton County, where we gonna have us a stud tailback, and we're gonna feature that tailback and get back to the days where the Yusuf Keith Kellys, the Cedric Wrights, the Charlie Browns, the Travis Fredericks, and I can keep going on and on about the different running backs that have came through Colleton County and Walterboro High. And we definitely getting back to those days. Trust me on that one. I'm not going to call plays, but then I will call plays. It's hard to, to give up something. You get behind that Lamborghini for the first time, and you don't want to stop driving it.
That's right.
But I totally trust Coach Hector, and we've been doing great over the summer just with 7-on-7s, and he'll call some, and then he'll look at me and say, "Hey, Coach, you want to get in here a little bit?" And and he'll let me call a little bit. And I think it's more of he trying to get it out my system now before the season starts. But I'll call a little bit, but I'm gonna let him do his thing, and I got total faith in him that he'll get it done. Defensively, we're gonna be a 4-man front. We got some big bodies, and we want to put them on the field, and we want to get after some people. We're going to be aggressive. We're going to run to the football. And we are building this team around running the football and playing solid defense. That's no secret. That's the winning formula for a lot of programs. And that's what we're getting back to, great defense and, a strong running game.
So you mentioned you are a young coach, but you said you've been preparing for this moment. Who are some coaches that you kind of model your style of, maybe on the professional level, collegiate level, or at the high school level?
I definitely is a lot of, college coaches. I love the college game and the college offenses, but just guys who have been like, impact for my life. Definitely my dad, RP to him, and definitely got me into this thing, this game of coaching and wanting to be a coach. See him do it. But Got to get big shout outs to Carlos Cave, the lead district AD at down in Beaufort County. Man, he was instrumental in getting me ready. I'll never forget when Coach Hatcher gave me that phone call and said, "Hey, I'm pulling you up for the JV receivers. You're gonna be the varsity receivers coach." All right. So, I thought that, football was just, you tell them to run the play and they run the play. And then I get in a meeting on Sunday and KSI, you on the board, and he said, all right, well, drop out, our offensive base. I said, okay. All right, now put the 3 technique in the shade. And I'm like, oh, what you talking about now? He said, you want to coach football, you learn. And I told myself I'd never be embarrassed again in my life. And he didn't do it in a malicious way.
Sure.
He did it to prepare me for this, because I told those guys, him and Coach Hatcher, when I interviewed for the job, want to be a head coach one day, get me ready. And he got me prepared. Now I feel like I can go in there with Nick Saban and get on the board with him and outdo him, But,
Love it.
Those two, definitely, Coach Bonneville, the new head coach down at May River High, man. That's my partner right there, man. That's when my dad died, boy, I'm telling you, he stepped in and he was able to fill a role, that a lot of people couldn't, because you have to be a football coach and a man of God to be able to, fill my dad's shoes. And that's Coach Bonneville, man. And, I love that guy. And he came in, and to this day, regardless if we're in the same region and we're going to see each other and we both fighting for, the same thing, he will help me at any point in time right now. If I call to talk about scheme or this and that, he will talk ball with me right now. Definitely Rodney Summers, the former head coach at May River, for giving me a chance to come over. I went over to May River, kind of not by choice, in a sense, because I was a counselor and a council job opened up and they said, Kinloch, we need you to go over there. So I kind of had no choice but to go. And, I was still coaching at Well Branch. And, at first I really wasn't feeling. I said, nah, I want to stay at Well Branch, the coach. And, he came talk to me and, he gave me something that I was missing. I needed to be comfortable being uncomfortable. And that's what he did for me. He made me so uncomfortable being a new surrounding and learning new things that now I'm so comfortable learning new things. And it's a blessing to have him in my life. And, and he's always one phone call away, man. And just the whole, Well Branch staff, man, Charlie Simmons and Coach White and Coach Sanders, them boys, man, they have been instrumental in my life, man. Like I said, I'm only 34, so I've been doing this thing, 11, 10, 12, something like that. It's been a little minute now. I started when I was 24 years old, so 10 years, 10, 11 years now. So they had me as a young man, making sure I was on practice on time. We just waking me up for work, because I like to hang out late at night back then, man. And those guys really put their arms around me and really, just took care of me, man. Ashley Bryan as well, another coach from Well Branch, man. And there's so many other coaches, definitely big shout outs to Coach Librand at Beaufort High. I've met him over the years, reaching out and helping me, man, and just, always got advice from me. I'm definitely big shout outs to him. And it's so many other coaches, Coach Taylor from, Laura Richard, man, just, going through the interview process and saying, hey, dog, what you need, man? Hey, this is my packet. Look at this, hey, make sure he was the one who told me, you make sure you wear the tie to Colleton County. You say you let them know, like, hey, I'm the guy for you. Man, it's been so many people, man. That's so awesome. Many coaches, but thank you to all the coaches, man. I thank you guys.
That's awesome. Coach, so you guys obviously wrapped up spring ball around May. You're kind of well into that summer workout season now. How has that been going, and what have you learned about your team getting ready to head into fall camp here?
I got some guys who really want to be successful. They're gritty. We're from Colleton County, and we got the saying, we're gonna get it out the mud, and we're gonna do it together. And I'm infusing what the kids say, because I want them to understand that I get it, and I want to use what they use, what gets them motivated. And they said getting it out the mud. They're super excited about the season. They're tired of being on the losing end of things, and they honestly they're tired of people thinking that, oh, it's just a cakewalk. And, we're going to get, and they keep saying, Coach, we're going to get it out the mud together, and together was, my acronym that, that I came up with, for our whole community, not just our football team, our school, our community, our whole county, and it's been really good. I'm pleased of the progress that we made. We have a lot of kids that have made some big strides. Some kids who haven't played football before, that are going to be some names that you guys are going to hear very soon. We got some young guys that coming up from the JV that flat out can play. We're going to be competitive, and I'm really excited, for our kids to hit somebody else, because I know they're tired of practice against each other. 7-on-7s you really can't hit. And some of our DBs like, Coach, he wouldn't have caught that ball because I would have hit him, and I was like, I know. So I'm really excited to see the passion, the grittiness, being able to show on the field.
That's our favorite thing to do, is to learn about those new players. So who are some special guys that you got coming back who we should be on the lookout for, and who we'll be giving shouts out to throughout the season?
Definitely be on the lookout for Nick Williams. Nick, have you seen this? I'm talking about you, man. Nick Williams, he's making a transition to middle linebacker, and he's also going to play some H-back for us. 6'2", 220. A basketball player, and we've got him to buy in to what we're doing and really be committed to football. He's a kid that's going to play on the next level. What level that may be, I don't know yet, but he's going to play on the next level somewhere. And he's a kid, he is bought in. He's done everything right. We stopped him today doing max talk. We stopped him at 505.
Okay.
I didn't want him to go higher than that. And this is a kid who wants to be successful. He shows up on time. He's the first one there. It's no excuses, and he's holding everybody accountable. I'm telling you guys right now, Nate Williams on the defensive side of the ball, he is going to be a problem for a lot of people. Offensively, it's so many, but I'm definitely going to give a shout out to Cameron Grayson, and also challenge him as well. He is somebody that has so much potential. He's coming up from the JV. He'll be a sophomore. He will be our starting tailback. And he has all the potential in the world, and his ceiling is high. And I really believe that 3 years from now, when it's signing day, he's going to sign. And I really believe that he will be one of those backs. When you guys talk about, the Charlie Browns and the Keith Kellys and Cedric Wrights and the Dedrick Owens and the Mooka Browns, those guys that came through Colleton County and walked around those tailbacks, he's going to be the next one. And I challenge him every day. And I'm going to use this platform as a Cam. I'm challenging you, because he knows he can do it. And he has the potential. Boy, listen here. That kid right there, man, he's humble and he's here. But boy, listen, he's steady climbing. And when I get him to really believe how good he is, he's going to be something special.
We love it, Coach. We have no problem being used as a motivating tool. So go ahead all you want. That's awesome. We're kind of coming now to the end of the 7-on-7 season. Are you a big fan of that stuff? And then how has that kind of been going for y'all this off season?
I hate it, but then I love it at the same time. Because I hate that I'm looking at linebackers, running. They're 30 yards back there. They're breaking up post routes, and I'm like, that's not realistic. But from a competitive standpoint, I always want my guys to compete and be competitive, and that's what 7-on-7 offers. Just last week, Thursday, we went down to Charleston, competed in the Citadel 7-on-7, and we competed, and we got better. And that's all I want. Getting better, the quarterbacks understanding what they're seeing, the receivers understanding how to sit in the holes, find the holes, running their routes depending on what they're showing us. Being able to talk football, and talk our peculiar language within our offense. And we're doing that. Big shout out to Coach Taylor. We went up to Lower Richmond to their big 30-team shootout, and we competed, and we got thrown into the fire. First time those kids have ever done anything like that. And, hey, we got our butts cut, a little bit. But that's good, though. And our kids learn from it, but it didn't happen at the Citadel, though, we came at the Citadel and with a new attitude, and I know we're going to face adversity, and that's good. I want adversity because no team, just doesn't face adversity, and it's a cakewalk. If we're going to talk about getting out the mud, that's a part of it. So we use the 7-on-7s to compete. We use those 7-on-7s to get better. Mentally, physically. Just use those 7-on-7s to better ourselves, and I think we got better over summer.
Coach, you were hired early in the cycle. How beneficial was that for you to get in early and go through spring ball and get your hands on the program and start molding it your way, getting in there in January?
Oh, I'll tell you like this: if if I didn't start, and I started February 6th, if I didn't start February 6th, and I had to, continue working in Beaufort County at Well Branch and commuting back and forth, I don't know if this thing would have been as smooth as it is right now. Or right now, listen, I was thrown in the fire in February, and I'm like, oh boy, if I wasn't here and I was doing this from afar, it would be something serious, man. Definitely shout out to our former superintendent, Dr. Valerie Cave, for pushing and making a way. We had a time, man, trying to get me out of my contract down in Beaufort County, but she made a way. Definitely shout out to me, our principal, Davina Coleman at Well Branch, who gave me her blessing to go. She called me in the office and said, Kinloch, I'm gonna let you go. This is your blessing. This is your calling. And who am I to, step in the way of God's plan? So definitely shout out to them for helping me, make that, the transition. Boy, it's being the head coach. There's so many things that a lot of people don't see. Just today I sat in a 3-hour meeting just to get ready for the first game. I'm like, boy, we didn't talk about the other 9 games, but with so much hype and so much, enthusiasm and excitement in the community, we got so many more people buying tickets than before. Just have the safety meeting with the officers and the people that work in the games, man. It's so much more that people don't know about, man. But I'm glad I was able to start early and get a head start on so many things, and it helped get to know the players as well. So I went in the spring knowing my players because I had them in class from February to May, and and a lot of stakeholders in the community, and being able to on my planning periods go out to communities and solicit funds and and just and talk to people. And we got so many former players and just Colleton County, Walter High, and Ruffin alum in the area, in their business owners and their pastors and their officers and so many other professions, and be able to shake hands and talk to them all the time, every day. Definitely helped get this ball rolling, man. And we're definitely in a better place because I was able to start early.
Coach, when you took the job and first got to Colleton County, what was maybe the first thing, or maybe the most important thing? You're like, hey, I've got to change this, or I've got to get this done, to really turn this program around.
Outside of getting them helmets off, boy, because boy, I had a time trying to get them helmets off for reconditioning. I wanted the kids to understand that they knew about me. I got some little cousins on the team and some people that know me, but I really wanted them to get to know who I was and that I just was not here for a job, and that being from Colleton County meant something to me. And to let them know you're going to see me in Walmart, and you're going to see me at IGA and Foodland and the China Walk and all those different places. Like, I want them to understand and know that we keep saying we're getting out the mud, but I walk that same walk as you guys, and just those guys, just being able to get that bond that together early, man, it was huge. And that's what I wanted them to see. Like, I'm here for you. I'm here, and I'm not going anywhere.
Throughout this interview and previous interviews, you've talked about like how the community there has embraced you and the new staff. How has that support, truly impacted your program and players early on?
Our students, they see a different side of the community. We've had talks before, and it was like, man, nobody really cares, and nobody comes to the games. We still haven't played a game yet, under me, but they're super excited, and they see it. The community has been so huge in what we're trying to do, and some support just from monetary donations. They paid for us to go to FCA 7-on-7 camp. They covered that entire bill, almost $10,000. The community rallied together in 3 days and paid for that. Just water, Gatorade. One of the issues I had when we started spring ball was a lot of our kids don't eat school lunch. Why? I have no clue, but they don't eat school lunch.
Yeah.
So I said, I put it out to one of the parents. I said, listen, Jenny, she's a Colleton County alum, and her son is a senior, and she went to high school with me. I said, Jenny, I need your help. I need the community to help me get food for these kids. I was like, it's after school. I was like, I need help. That next day, 3-4 trucks are pulling in with, bags and bags of bread, peanut butter and jelly. The kids love the pickles, and the good thing is the pickle juice is good for cramps. They drink the pickle juice, the little fruit snacks, granola bars, things like that. The community has been instrumental in helping us from day one. so many alum, whatever you need, just let me know. Call
That's
me.
all.
Let me know what you need, man. The community has rallied around me. When I say we together, we are together. And it's crazy just being on, social media and seeing, parents and students and, and people not affiliated with the program at all. And they're saying, can't wait for the season, together, praying for these kids together. Everything is together. You see the acronym of so many different things, and so many different, organizations have reached out, man. They're like, hey, we haven't done this before, but do you mind if we provide a pregame meal? I had to turn, people away because I had so many pregame meals for all the games and all the JV games and post-game meals for all the games, and I still turning people away. And I'm like, well, hey, if you can do this for us, if you can provide oranges on these games and granola bars on these games and and protein shakes on these times, that's how it's been. And we're a football town, we're a football family, and I feel excited, but I haven't seen this much excitement since I've been playing ball at Colleton, man. And it's been surreal. It's been a blessing.
Take your financial game to the next level with Founders Federal Credit Union. Reach your full potential. Relax. Join Founders today. Visit an office near you or relaxjoinfounders.com to apply. Federally insured by NCUA, member qualification required.
Well, Coach, got a couple easier ones for you now. That's a great segue. So obviously I know you're ready to play a home game for sure, get those fans out there. But what are maybe some of the other great atmospheres you've coached in or even played in your time kind of in that low country area?
Oh, man, I tell anybody, the most iconic stadium in the state of South Carolina, Somerville Greenway. Boy, listen, when you go out in Somerville, it's just it's so tight and it's sitting on top of you. Man, like that's a place, man. I just love just going to watch the ball there. I mean, it's just something about that stadium, man, on a Friday night, boy. If you can't get fired up playing there, but I don't know what to say about you, man. They should never be an issue with those kids getting fired up just walking into that stadium. Oh man, that was huge. In the low country, man, I remember going down to Beaufort was always a good one. I love that field down at Ladies Island. It's real, on top of you, just like kind of like Somerville. Just in it's like you get there. It's football. It's nothing else to see but football, man. And I love Beaufort High, man. That was a good one right there.
Coach, we've always got to ask this question in our interviews. We love food. We're coming down to Walterboro. You got to tell us, where should we eat before a game? I need some of your favorite restaurants in Walterboro. You can even go down to Beaufort if you want to, Colleton County, but where should we get some good grub down there?
I'm going to shout out my partner, man, straight out of Green Pond, South Carolina. Big Sam, he has a restaurant called Bear Cafe on Main Street. Make sure y'all get the Big Yogi burger. Trust me, on point. He's been open about a year now, man. And listen, great food. Definitely the iconic Dairyland. Get some ice cream, man. That's always a big one. Now we got Williams Seafood, where you can go get your catfish, your whiting. You can get your yams, your macaroni and cheese. Hey, listen now we country down here, so we got some good eating places. But those are definitely, top three my hitters right there, man. The Forks gas station might have the best burger in the state of South Carolina. I'm gonna tell you that.
Okay.
The Forks gas station, man. Hey, listen to me now. The Forks gas station, the real deal.
I trust you, Coach. I'll put that on the list for next time for sure. I'm excited to get down there. Coach, so you mentioned earlier you serve also as a high school guidance counselor. How does that help you as a coach, and how special are some of those relationships you get to build with those students throughout the year?
It was definitely instrumental in how I believe I'm such I say decent coach. I'm not great, decent coach. Because I'm able to look at transcripts and I can tell a kid if he eligible or not looking at transcript. I'm able to talk credits. I'm able to talk, graduation requirements. What do you need to be promoted to the next grade? GPAs, things like that. NCAA clearinghouse. Those are things that I had to learn as a counselor, but have helped me so much being a high school football coach. I can talk athletics all day, but I can also talk academics. when our kids come to me, they know Kinloch gonna fuss about grades because I know it. Why you about to get an FA? Why are you about to get an FA? Oh, no. Got too many absences. I can talk about those things, and I know how to say, go to your counselor. This is what you need to ask. Get the waiver. Get that waiver. SAT is this time. ACT is this time. And because I want to prepare, the young men and young women that I counter, regardless of football or not. If I'm in the building, I'm all in, all the kids, and I want them to see, like, hey, listen, the football. One day it's going to be over for all of us. But what are we doing? I tell them I got 3 things that they can do in life. They can go to college, all right? They can go in the military, or they go in the workforce. And that's it. Anything else, I don't think you should be doing. And I said, how can I help you get there? I even talked to our team managers. I got 5 young ladies that's been there from day one, fixing water and grabbing equipment. I mean, they out there. I mean, they GAing out there. Boy, listen, they working. And guess what? Hey, y'all make sure y'all keep your grades up, because I'm gonna be checking. Also, what do you young ladies want to do when you leave? Do you want to go to the military? Well, all right. Well, let's go get these military recruiters. They come all the time. Let's get you in front of them. You want to go in the workforce? Okay. All right. Let's find a career that's for you. All right. You want to go to college? What do you want to study? All right. Let's get these scholarships. Let's go debt free. And being a counselor and knowing those things definitely be able to help you, especially in football, man. I can talk about packaging money and say, hey, he has a 3.8. I know you'll be able to get some money if you can't get, full ride of football and things like that. And I'm able to package my kids, say, hey, listen, you might be full, but take this kid as a preferred walk-on with his 4.3. Because guess what? He'll earn a scholarship, but I need you to give him a chance. And they'll take a chance on that kid with that 4.3, because, I'm able to show, these are the things that academically he could do. So definitely being a counselor is a plus.
Kevin touched on the environments. I'm going to make it a little bit harder. Who is the best high school football player you have seen in the state of South Carolina? You grew up in ball, so it could be a former teammate, competitor, somebody you watch your dad coach, somebody you coached against, but who's the best player you've seen play in the state?
Best player I've seen in state, hand down, AJ Green. That's number one. Gaga. Malcolm Long played quarterback at Gaffney, South Carolina State. Saw him play. Gaga. I'm definitely gonna have to throw Nick Adams, my classmate in Shrine 07 Shrine Bowl guy. Out of college, got to throw him in there. Carlos Dunlap. Gaga.
Yeah.
Watching film, and the week before he's running kickoff return back against Somerville. Oh boy, and I'm on kickoff team.
Yeah,
you better get your mind right. And I'm gonna throw this one out here to Coach Lineberry and the boy down at Buford High, Devin Taylor. Played at Carolina, played Buford High.
Yeah.
Oh boy, buckle your chin strap, man. Those 5 right there, man. But AJ Green, it's not even close, man.
AJ, love it.
Yeah, he was special. He was special on the basketball court too. He could play a little bit of hoops out there too. AJ was a special athlete for sure. We mentioned it earlier. Your late father Greg was a head coach, also a longtime football coach. Can you talk about his impact on you and kind of maybe how did he help you get into the coaching profession? Really,
when you grow up in an environment where my parents first got married. We were living in an apartment. In Walterboro, and all the players there all the time. All the time. All those guys off the 97 state championship team, they were at my house every day, especially with summertime. I grew up with those guys. I was there in the weight room with those guys. I'll tell you a funny story now. I wanted to be just like those guys. And I used to go in the weight room, and they're not paying me no attention. I'm just running around. And I'm out there trying to lift weights. And, I got a hernia, like trying to lift things too heavy for me, lift weights, and me trying to be tough and not show, cry and show any emotion. Man, that thing was the size of a softball. Once I broke down to my parents and listen, something going on here, and I was 7 years old, and I showed them. It's like, oh boy, I had emergency surgery the exact same day for a hernia, man, and it just being around those guys every day, and we had to take guys home. Guys always over to the house. My mom was always feeding them. Whenever I ate, they ate too. I didn't realize at such a young age that a lot of kids didn't have it. They didn't have fathers and mothers. They didn't have the guidance that they needed, but they had my dad. And when I got older in high school, middle school, we still do the same thing. Taking kids home and doing this and that. And then when I got old enough to drive, my dad would be like, "Hey, I got a coaching meeting. You go drop them 5 off," and and I'm dropping my teammates off. And he giving me money, and everybody gets some other dollar menu. And I saw how he impacted lives. My dad was the type of person. If he had it, you had it. He didn't see oh, that's such kid. No, that's such kid, but he my kid too. He was a pillar in the community. Because he cared about everybody, and when you genuinely care, people can see it. They can see that Christ in you, man, and that's what he was. And seeing that and growing up in that environment, it was hard not to be a football coach. I tell my brother all the time, I was like, I just happened to be born first, so I got to see him coach because my brother, and see it. He's younger than me, so he saw it, but he was so young, so he's an engineer. And I'm like, boy, you make a whole lot more money than me, but he always be like, man, I just don't have that passion for coaching like you do. But he was so young then I saw it, man, and just seeing how lives have been impacted by one person. Some I knew, some people came to me after he died, was like, you don't understand how you saved my life. People telling me stories like, listen, I was going to commit a crime and your dad the one stopped me and took certain things from me so I couldn't commit no crime. And I'm like, wow, I never knew that. And I asked my mom, like, did you know? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, why nobody tell me? She's like, man, you too young. You don't even know nobody's business, And, just seeing those things, it's hard not being a football coach because it's more than just football to me. It's a ministry. It's a passion. How you can take, 60, 70, 80 guys, and young ladies and coaches and come together, as a team. And, just thinking about our staff, you got, OG, Tommy Brown, and you got young Adam Kinloch, but we're meshing and Coach Hector and all those coaches. And then we got our kids, from so many different communities, from Green Pond, from Dooley Hill, from the block, from the slab, from Arlington, from Ruffin, Wiggins. We got all these communities and we all meshed together, man. And doing something great. And those are things that I saw, man. I saw the passion and I saw the love, not just the game, but love of kids and children and education, for my dad. So it's hard not to do it, It's just me.
That's truly special. Coach, before we let you go, what are some goals that you have for the 2023 season in this version of the Colleton County Cougars?
Let's play together. That's when we play together, good things will happen. That's my goal. Let's play together and let's play tough. We do those things. We play as a unit, play as a team. Like I said, we getting out the mud together and we stick together. It's gonna be some great things coming out of Colleton County. And that's my only goal. My goal is to keep this team together and fight until the season over. Whenever that may be, we do that. I believe that we can do some things that haven't been done before, man. And and then after that, it's going to be about getting our seniors, placed at next level, whether it be athletics in college, just going to college, military, or in the workforce. Getting our kids prepared for the next level, getting our young ladies, ready for the next level, and that's it, man. Getting our kids ready for the next level and just sticking together, through thick and thin.
Well, this has been great. Definitely want everyone to go check out Coach Kinloch and the Cougars program on social media, on Twitter and Facebook and stuff. They do a great job posting updates about the team and things like that. Like I mentioned, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, etc. at Movin Change, website movinchange.com, our podcast on Apple, Spotify, Google, and more. Moving the Change brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Jarrell, anything else for Coach? We'll let him go tonight.
Coach, just want to thank you for your time. I know you've been playing phone tag, trying to get this set up for a few weeks now, but I'm so glad that we were able to do it, get to learn about your story, get to learn about your program. Just your passion, your energy is infectious. I know you're going to be successful. looking forward to see how that program progresses. I just know it's so special. This kind of been the theme of the season. We've had a lot of coaches who are alums of schools and getting the opportunity to go back and coach there. I know that's truly special for you and your family. I just wish you continued success and good luck this year.
I appreciate you guys for giving me this opportunity. Talk about myself and more than anything, talk about my kids and our program.
So we appreciate it, Coach. Look forward to stopping by our practice or a game and getting to meet you in person. And best of luck this year, all right?
Yes, sir. Thank you. You guys have a good one.